So yesterday we started with Nectar of Devotion and we discussed how important this scripture is. We discussed the meaning of the name Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. We also discussed the great contributions of 6 Goswamis and how 3 Goswamis, they became the acharyas of Sambandha, Abhideya and Prayojan. And this particular book comes in the Abhideya process. Amal Arjun Prabhu, I am sorry you sent me a message. So I have some content, I will send it to you.
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you.
So he became, Rupa Goswami became the Abhideya Acharya, and he takes care, he is teaching us the Abhideya, the process of devotional service. We also saw the general definition of bhakti, that is to serve the master of senses with senses. And then we also saw definition of uttama bhakti, that is sarva upadhir vinirmuktam tatparitvena nirmalam. Sorry, that is uttama bhakti. I'm just missing the definition. Can somebody remind me? Anyavilashita shunyam jnana karmadya navritam anukulenu krishnanu shilanam bhaktiruttama. So we discussed this also. Anyavilashita shunyam, getting rid of all other desires than serving Krishna. Jnana karmadya navritam, not having any traces of jnana karma and other process. Krishnanu shilanam, it should be anukul, it should be favorable to Krishna, and in guidance of the previous acharyas, we cultivate devotional service. Bhaktiruttama, that is the perfect devotional service. And we saw the overview of this book, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. And since it has been compared to ocean by Srila Rupa Goswami, the categorization is done in terms of east part of the ocean, north part of the ocean, west part of the ocean, and southern part of the ocean. And in our syllabus, we have only eastern part, the first 19 chapters of Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. So that much we have covered yesterday. Now we start with the characteristics of devotional service. So yesterday we saw the definition of devotional service, but today we are going to see 6 characteristics of pure devotional service. These characteristics are unique to pure devotional service. No other processes can do this work. So this is very, very special symptoms of pure devotional service. You should remember the Sanskrit names also, but if you can't pronounce them or can't remember them, but at least remember the English translations. So the 6 characteristics are, first is Kleshagni. Kleshagni. Agni means fire. And Klesha means material miseries. So devotional service burns out all kinds of material distress, all kind of material miseries. So that is speciality of devotional service. When we practice devotional service, then it automatically relieves us from all material desires, from all material distress. That's what Krishna promised in Bhagavad Gita. Sarva dharman paritajya mamekam sharanam braja aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshishyami. Mokshishyami means I'll relieve you from all sinful reactions. So that is Kleshagni. The first symptom of practicing pure devotional service is Kleshagni. Second is Shubhada. Shubha means auspiciousness, and Da means to give. So this devotion, it gives Shubhada, auspiciousness in life. We all want to have auspiciousness in life. We don't want any obstacles, hindrances. We don't want any miseries. We want auspiciousness. We want good things happening in our life. Bhakti makes life Shubhada, full of auspiciousness. Therefore, we discussed so many times that the presence of pure devotees makes the place holy place. Because wherever devotional service is practiced, Lord Krishna himself is present. Tirtha kurvanti tirthani. And wherever there is Krishna, there is auspiciousness. So practice of devotional service brings auspiciousness. Third is moksha laghuta krit. Laghu means small. Laghuta krit. Krit means to make small. Bhakti makes moksha, liberation, small. Means what? All kind of spiritualists, maximum of them, they are running after liberation, moksha. But bhakti is such that bhakti is so great, liberation becomes insignificant in front of bhakti. For a devotee, the conception of liberation is insignificant. Moksha laghuta akrit. As if it has no value. Actually, to the degree our acharyas have compared liberation to spiritual suicide, because there is no service. So what we will do by getting liberation? So that is moksha laghuta akrit. So pure devotional service, it derides even the conception of liberation. It goes beyond liberation. Then fourth is sudurlabha. Durlabh. Durlabh means, you've heard this word, durlabh manavadeha. Durlabh means rare. Sudurlabha means very, very rare. Like in Sanskrit, when you have this word su means very. Like Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, susukham kartum abhyayam. Susukham means very, very blissful. We have charu. Charu means beautiful. Sucharu. Sucharu means very, very beautiful. So in the same way, sudurlabha means very, very rare. This devotional service is very, very rare. Krishna gives liberation very easily, but he doesn't give devotional service very easily. We'll see the reason for it in the coming slides, but it's very, very rare. This is the fourth characteristic of pure devotional service. And fifth is Sandarananda Visheshatma. Sandarananda means transcendental pleasure. So automatically, devotional service places devotee in eternal bliss. We discussed this yesterday in definition of rasa, that mundane rasa is chapal sukh. It gives momentary pleasure. It gives flickery pleasure. But eternal rasa, bhakti rasa, gives, bhakti rasa is amrita, eternal happiness, eternal bliss. So that is Sandarananda Visheshatma. One is automatically put into transcendental pleasure, the ocean of transcendental pleasure. And sixth is, this devotional service is so powerful. The first five symptoms are what devotee gets. But sixth one is related to Krishna. Sri Krishna Akarshani. Akarshana means to attract. Devotional service is so powerful that it pulls Krishna towards the devotee. It's such a powerful process. All other processes, they have to run after Krishna. But when one practices devotional service, Krishna comes running towards the devotee. Krishna Akarshan, like a magnet, it attracts Krishna. Akarshan means attracting. So pure devotional service is so powerful, it attracts Krishna. Krishna Akarshani. So we'll discuss this symptoms or the characteristics of pure devotional service today. As we discussed, the three stages of bhakti: sadhan bhakti, bhav bhakti, and prema bhakti. I hope you are taking notes, because many of the terms you will not find in the book, because Prabhupada just wrote in the English. So many of the terms and tables you may not find in the book, so you can take notes. So this sadhan bhakti is practice of devotional service in the beginning stage, where devotee just follows the instructions of a spiritual master. He may not have direct attachment to Krishna, he may not have natural inclination to practice Krishna consciousness, but he follows instructions of a spiritual master. That is sadhan bhakti. Even on the level of sadhan bhakti, these two symptoms are given to devotee. What are that? Kleshagni and Shubhada. Kleshagni means cessation of material miseries, and Shubhada means all auspiciousness. Just like if you have seen a seedling, when seed sprouts, first two leaves come. You have seen that? When seed sprouts, two leaves come. So these bhakti, when somebody starts bhakti, two leaves come. What is the two leaves? Kleshagni and Shubhada. His material account is finished and his life is now full of auspiciousness. Apparently, it may look, oh, he is normal, he is eating like us, he is sleeping like us, he is getting disease like us, he is getting old like us, but it's not like that. Everything happens in life of pure devotee is mercy of Krishna. It's full of auspiciousness. And Kleshagni means there is no more material reactions to suffer. That is given on the level of sadhan bhakti itself. Then when devotee progresses to the level of bhav bhakti, that is the second level of bhakti, when their emotions for Krishna, when the anarthas are gone, this bhav bhakti stage, it gives 4 characteristics out of the 6 which we discussed already. Kleshagni, Shubhada, which automatically one gets on the sadhan bhakti platform. And then next 2, that is moksha laguta krit. Even on the level of bhav bhakti, devotee understands that devotional service is much higher than liberation. And 4th one is sudurlabha. It's very, very rare. Even to the reaching level of bhav bhakti is very rare. And then we come to the level of prema bhakti, where all 6 characteristics are present. All 6 are present. Kleshagni, Shubhada, Moksha Laguta Krit, Sudurlabha. And then the last 2, Sandarananda Visheta Asma, that is devotee gets established in eternal happiness, that is in Prem Bhakti. And 6th is Krishna Akarshani. Krishna get attracted to Prema Bhaktas. To Sadhan Bhaktas, not sure. But when by practice of Sadhan Bhakti, one develops natural love for Krishna, then Krishna get attracted to that love. So these 3 stages are there. One is sadhana bhakti. In that sadhana bhakti, we get these 2 characteristics of devotional service, Shubhada and Kleshagni. Then in bhav bhakti, along with these 2 more get added, Sudurlabha and Moksha Lagutakrit. And in prema bhakti, all 6 are available to a devotee. Yes, Saurabh Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dharma Prabhu. Prabhu, what
Yes.
is the difference between Bhava Bhakti and Prema Bhakti?
So bhava is like bud and prema is like blossomed flower. Bhava bhakti is like a transition to prema bhakti. We will study this in subsequent chapters. Today we will just focus on sadhana bhakti, but in later chapters there is description of bhava and prema also. So bhava is actually cessation of all material anarthas. Devotee is pure in heart and he is going towards prema. But prema is like full blossomed love for Krishna. Like example, if you have a glass of water and if you want to fill it with milk, you have to empty that glass first and then you can put milk in it. So sadhan bhakti is like emptying the glass. The empty glass is bhav bhakti and then filling it with milk is prema bhakti. So it's like one stage higher. Okay. We'll study this in subsequent chapter in detail. So let's see this one by one. Klesha Agni. As I was discussing, Klesha means material suffering and Gni means to destroy. Some devotees tell Agni, Agni means to burn. or Gni means to destroy. Both are correct. Kleshagni means to completely destroy all material sufferings. This is the first characteristic of devotional service. Pure devotional service brings immediate relief from all kinds of material distress. Now, what causes this distress? What causes this kleshagni? There are three causes of suffering. Please hear attentively and you can make notes. What causes miseries in our life? There are three causes of suffering. Kleshastu papam tad bijam avidya cheti te tridha. There are three causes of misery. Let's see them one by one. First is papam, sinful activities. When we perform sinful activities, we suffer. That is the first reason. Second is bijam, material desires. What leads to sinful activities? Bijam, material desires lead to sinful activities. Now going further down, what causes material desires is avidya, ignorance. If any by good chance you remember Bhagavad Gita, we discussed this there also. Root cause of all material activities is avidya, ignorance, misidentification. When we forget Krishna, when we think that we are this body, this material world is our home, we are enjoyers, we are controllers, that avidya leads to material desires. For example, suppose in your home, somebody is cooking and then he puts everything in nice plate and you happen to come home hungry. Oh, such nice prasad, let me eat it. And that devotee says, no, Prabhu, it's not offered. Let me offer it first. How you will feel? Oh, sorry. Okay, offer it first. Because the devotee knows he can't accept anything before offering to Krishna. But for non-devotee, because he forgot that this is for Krishna's enjoyment, he thinks this plate of food is for my enjoyment. Forget about offering. Just offer it to me. Aham bhokta. I am enjoyer. Offer it to me. That is avidya. So avidya causes material desires. And due to material desires, person does sinful activity. Why a person steals? Why a person do any crime for that instant? Because of material desires. So therefore, these are the three main causes of suffering. Now what happens by that? Two kinds of reactions. So you should note this. I hope you have noted this. Three causes of suffering are papa, bija, and avidya. Technically, bija means seed, and papa means sinful activity. Avidya means ignorance. So from ignorance comes material desires, and from material desires comes sinful activities. And when we perform sinful activities, we end up getting sinful reactions. Now these reactions are of two types: aprarabdham and prarabdham. Aprarabdham means those reactions which are still unmanifest, and prarabdha means which are manifest. Like in this life, we got a set of parents, we got a set of relatives, we got a body, we got some skills, we got some limitations, we got some diseases. All they come in prarabdha. That means manifested reaction of past activities. But still there is bunch of aprarabdha karma which will come in future. Maybe in next life, maybe in this life after some years, after few months. Like suppose you slap somebody in market. Just unknown person, you catch his collar and slap him. What he will do? What he will do? Venudhari Prabhu? If you'll slap somebody randomly in market, what he will do?
He will revive Prabhuji.
he will slap back, maybe 2 or 3.
Yeah. Yeah, of
You know,
course.
that is prarabdha, manifest. Prarabdha, immediate. You have done something, the reaction is manifest. But suppose you have stolen money from somebody's house, and till you are not caught, the reaction is aprarabdha. It's not manifest. Once you are caught, then you will be punished. So delayed karma is aprarabdha. Instant karma is prarabdha. So whatever we are getting in life now is prarabdha. Our reactions are manifest. We are getting reactions of our past karma. But mind you, there is still stock of aprarabdha karma which is going to come in future. So these are 2 types of reactions. 3 types of causes of suffering: papa, bija, and avidya. And 2 types of reactions: aprarabdha and prarabdha. Now, why we are discussing all this, you will understand why we are discussing this all in detail. Bansi Vilasani Mataji, can you read?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Sinful activities are of 2 kinds, those that are matured and those which are not mature. The sinful activities for which we are suffering at the present moment are called mature. The many sinful activities stored within us for which we have not yet suffered are considered immature.
So this is prarabdha and aprarabdha, mature karma, immature karma. But what bhakti does, this is why we were discussing all this. Padma Puran says, aprarabdha phalam papam, kutam bijam phalonmukham, karmanaiva praliyate Vishnu bhakti ratatmanam. Praliyate means, pralay means to destroy. Praliyate means Vishnu bhakti, devotional service, one who is engaged in devotional service, destroys aprarabdha, prarabdha, phala, papa, kuta, bija, everything. This is power of devotional service. See, when you do pious activities, it has no power to nullify kuta, bija, these things, aprarabdha, prarabdha. No. We have to undergo these things. But only devotional service has power which can completely clean off our previous karma, our tendency to commit sinful activities. What is bija? Material desires. So it clears tendency to commit sinful activities. And in future, whatever will come, aprarabdha means whatever future reactions are going to come, that will also be nullified. So the cause, the effect, the object, everything related to suffering will be nullified by devotional service. Such a powerful process. Therefore, it is called kleshagni. Let's read this quote. Yes, Sachi Maharani Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Prabhuji, like in this, you are saying all our sinful activities, will go away. But Prabhuji, like, I think, like I face in day-to-day life, so many challenges. When we live in a family, so there are a lot of challenges that I face. So, sometimes I think that what are these kind of things that we face is like I don't understand them.
See, this level of kleshagni is on level of sadhana bhakti, but pure sadhana bhakti. We have to accept that we are not still on that pure level. Yes, we are practicing, but still we are mixed. You remember yesterday we have discussed that for Uttama Bhakti, for pure devotional service, it should be free from Jnana Karma Anavritam. It should be free from Anyavilashita Shunyam, all other desires. So these characteristics are for practice of pure devotional service. So we have to understand that. Now what we are practicing is taking us towards that pure sadhana bhakti. But actually we are not still on that level. So it may not happen immediately. Today we start chanting and today only our reactions are nullified. It doesn't happen like that. But when our surrender comes to 100%, then this application of 6 characteristics come. So even in sadhana bhakti, it should be pure sadhana bhakti. Okay.
So, Prabhuji, okay, I understand that we should do pure sadhana. So, Prabhuji, I mean, what challenges we face, no, the situation. For us, they are problems, any kind. So, is that our mind is saying, or sometimes I think, okay, I should let it go and focus on my sadhana, focus on higher goal. But is that my mind says, or is this the reality?
Actually, this world is not reality. Whatever we are seeing here is just to entangle us. It's because of our misidentification. When Ashtavakra went to Janak Maharaj, he told that only. That everybody is seeing dream. Only difference in some people see it alone while sleeping, and others they see it together while awake. It's all dream. But the thing is, we have to understand that only reality in this world is 3. Only 3 things are real in this world, permanent in this world, Sanatan in this world. One is Bhagavan, that is Krishna. Second is Bhakta, that is devotee. And third is Bhakti, that is relationship between Bhagavan and Bhakta. If we can understand this much, then we don't take this material world seriously. Only way to handle this material world is don't take it seriously. Yes, we have to do our work. We have to handle situations. Things will go, crazy many times. We'll try to manage them. But if things go beyond our control, we don't sit and lament on it, because we know this is how this world is. So we try our best, but we should remember we are not controllers. Krishna is controller. That is a devotee. He tries his best. See, even if in Battle of Mahabharata, if Arjun would have lost, he would still be best, because he did what Krishna wanted. It's not about the result. So we do our best. There are challenges in life, but a devotee understand that anyway, this world doesn't matter me much. I understand that this world is not real home. I'm trying my best. If nothing happens, it's up to Krishna. Like that.
Thank you, Prabhuji. I got my answer.
Saurabh Prabhu?
Prabhu, when it is said that we do not want liberation, probably we want
Yes.
to go back to our Godhead. We want to go to the Godhead. So
Good,
how is
good news is pure devotees don't demand that also. Prabhupada encouraged new devotees or devotees who are not accustomed to devotional service, and he encouraged that we have to go back to Godhead. But Srila Prabhupada, in many of the purports he wrote in Srimad Bhagavatam, that an advanced devotee doesn't even demand that. For him, if Krishna wants to keep him Narka Apavarga Swargeshu Api Tulyartha Darshanam, if Krishna keeps him in Narka, hell, if Krishna keeps him in Vaikuntha, if Krishna keeps him in Bhuloka, he is happy. So for a beginner, he may have that understanding that, okay, I will practice Krishna consciousness and then I will be, free from this material world and I will go back to spiritual world, which is fine. But a pure devotee, advanced devotee, his attitude is, Krishna, I am surrendering unto you. Now you decide for me where you want me to keep. Maro bhi rakho bhi jo ichha tuhar, nitya das prati tu adhikar. Krishna, I am your eternal servant. You have full right over me. Now you kill me, you save me, you put me in material world, you keep me in spiritual world. It's up to you. So his devotee, Moksha Lagutakrit, means that also. He doesn't demand anything. He just wants to serve Krishna. And if Krishna wants him to be serving in material world, he'll live in material world. If Krishna wants him to serve in spiritual world, he can serve there. There is a nice story of Anantacharya. There is one devotee, Anantacharya, whom Ramanujacharya sent in Tirupati. You must have heard the name of Tirupati Balaji, where Tirupati is very famous temple in India. But that time, Ramanujacharya's time, it was very remote. Nobody wanted to go on the hill and serve. One disciple volunteered, Anantacharya, and Ramanujacharya sent him. So he was alone serving Tirupati on the hill, Balaji. So one day he was picking some flowers for Balaji to make garland, and it so happened that one snake came, and the snake bite on the to this devotee, and he fell down, and his wife came, and she brought some herbs and medicines, and somehow cured the husband. So that day he became little late in doing his service. So in evening he got some flowers, made garland, and he went to Balaji. So this devotee was so dear to Balaji that Balaji would talk to him. So Lord is asking that, Ananta, why are you late today? He said, my dear Lord, today one snake came, and I got a snake bite, and now I am late in your service. So Balaji said, Ananta, is it serious? Didn't you get feared that the snake has bitten you? Ananta said, no, I have no fear of this snake. And why? Is it not poisonous? He said, yes, he was poisonous, but I am not fearful of the snake. Why? Because if I die, I know I will go to Vaikuntha and make garlands for you there. And if I don't die, I live here, I know I will make garlands and put you here. So it's same. If I live in this world, I am doing same service. And if I go back to God, I will do same service. So I am not fearful of this snake, but I am fearful of another snake, which is snake of Maya. If snake of Maya will take over me, I'll forget you, my Lord. So if you want to save me from that snake. So actually devotee is not worried. If he is here or back to Godhead, same for him. Okay? Yeah. So let's read the translation. Devadev Prabhu, please read.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Yeah.
It is stated in the Padma Puran that there are 4 kinds of effects due to sinful activities. All these 4 effects become immediately vanquished for those who surrendered unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vishnu, and become engaged in his devotional service in full Krishna consciousness.
So this is the verdict of the Puranas. It tells that how these 4 kind of effect due to sinful activities, everything is vanquished by surrendering to the Supreme Lord. Venudhari Prabhu, please read. This is from Srimad Bhagavatam.
Yes, Prabhuji. Even a person born in a family of dog eaters immediately becomes eligible to perform Vedic sacrifices if he once utters the holy name of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, or chants about him, hears about his pastimes, offers his obeisances, or even remembers him.
So why person is born in the family of dog eaters? Because of previous karma, because of previous bad karma. But even if he starts to practice devotional service, he'll become so pure that he can perform Vedic sacrifices. That is the power of devotional service. Kripalu Keshavi Mataji, please read.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. One who is engaged in Krishna consciousness and devotional service has without doubt become freed from all contaminations of material sinful activities. Devotional service therefore has the power to actually nullify all kinds of reactions to sinful deeds.
So this is the power of devotional life. It completely frees us from all kinds of vices, like the very avidya. See what Krishna consciousness does. It uproots that avidya. Avidya means not remembering Lord. Avidya means forgetting Lord, forgetting oneself. Now Krishna consciousness starts with Sambandha Gyan. It starts with our identity, Krishna's identity. So the very root of material suffering, avidya, has been attacked. So automatically what happens? Then whole chain after that gets nullified. Varat Krishna Prabhu, please unmute.
Around 2 slides before, there was that the Supreme Personality of Godhead Vishnu, that
Yes.
if you do it in Krishna consciousness, why don't we say Vishnu consciousness?
Because Prabhupada wants to give us even one step higher. He wants to be more specific. Krishna consciousness. See, Vishnu is expansion of Krishna. So when we are conscious of Vishnu, that is also Krishna consciousness. But it is limited to only specific rasas. You can only be in Dasya or Shanta with Vishnu. You can't be friend with him. You can't be a father to him. You can't be a lover to him. So the purpose of Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu will be limited. You remember in the first day we discussed, Krishna is Akhil Rasamrita Murti. Only Krishna can reciprocate with all the rasas. So therefore we focus, Prabhupada want to focus on Krishna. Although there is no difference between Krishna and Vishnu, but Vishnu can't reciprocate with all rasas, whereas Krishna can reciprocate with all the rasas. So he is the complete whole, we say, na? Samam Bonam. So therefore, Krishna consciousness.
Thank you, Prabhu. Yeah.
Vishnu Priya Mataji.
Krishna Prabhu, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Yes, Prabhu. Actually, you were mentioning that how a devotee should be so unbothered by all the activities and all the things happen to us in our daily life. Is it the same that we should not give any reaction or do not clarify anything, or we should not say anything, or just let it be, let it be? It will create problems, or should we give our reaction or certain clarification to the person or to the problem that is happening actually? I just wanted to know that. Sorry for
See,
if it's a question wrong.
devotees are simple but not naive. You know,
Yeah.
you heard that story one time. One snake was troubling the people of the village, and he used to bite anyone, especially children. And everybody was so fed up with the snake, fearful actually to go in the fields. So one day Narad Muni came to that village, and Narad Muni saw, people are very fearful of this snake. So Narad Muni started to preach to the snake. Now, Narad Muni has all kind of disciples. He preached in the womb to Prahlad. He preached 5-year-old Dhruva. He preached Prachini Bhari, who is like old person. He preached all kind of people. He preached Yudhishthira Maharaj, who is a king. He preached Mragari, who is a hunter. So Narad Muni has all kind of disciples. So he said, why not a snake? So he started preaching to the snake. And by purity of Narad Muni, the snake became devotee. And Narad Muni told that, okay, from today, don't bite anyone. So snake accepted. He doesn't bite anyone anymore. Narad Muni has gone, and the snake started living peacefully. But what happened, 1-2 times when children were passing from the field, they saw the snake is there, but he is not harming anyone. So children got to know this news, that the snake is not harming anyone now. What they started doing, they started to play with it. They started taking the snake, they putting in his neck, taking around, throwing, using as rope. The snake was in bad shape. Blood was coming all over the body, and after some time, Narad Muni again came and saw snake in that condition. Whole body was full of wounds. Narad Muni asked, what happened? The snake told that you only told don't bite anyone, and see, this is the condition. Narad Muni said, I told don't bite. I didn't tell that you don't show your hoot. At least show your hoot so that nobody comes near you. That is devotee, you know. He doesn't let anyone exploit him. He is intelligent enough. But he doesn't go too much into details that, you know, his main purpose is lost. So devotee is not foolish. He is brave. Like, suppose in India, there's so many hogs, you know, pigs. Now, if you're walking on street and one pig is running towards you, what you will do? Will you start fighting with the pig? Why are you coming in my way? You will just change your way, let him go, and then I will go. That is a devotee. He saves his time. Who will fight with all these karmis and materialistics? You know, let them do whatever they are wanting to do. That is not sign of weakness. That is sign of intelligence. That we don't waste our time on them. Okay? But when it comes to cheating you, when it comes to harming you, of course, you can be, you know, you can be strong in your approach. Okay? Yeah. Yes, Radha Kripa Kataksh Mataji.
Yes, Hare Krishna Prabhu. At the end of your answer, you said we don't entertain with the materialists and the karmis.
Yeah.
But what about the devotees themselves within our community? How
Yeah.
do we? Because
Same
that's
approach.
where we're more involved.
Same approach. You know, a Vaishnava, he doesn't take fightings. He doesn't, you know, like to complicate his Krishna consciousness. Suppose a devotee is creating trouble, you say, Prabhu, you are right, I am wrong. You be happy. You know? And Krishna is more pleased because, you see, Vaishnavism is beyond right and wrong. In material world, there is consideration of right and wrong. Who is right? Who is wrong? And if you fight for justice, you will get justice. But Vaishnavas are beyond right and wrong. Like in Chaitanya Charitamrita, there is a story where one Chapal Gopal wanted to defame Srivas Thakur. And what he did, he kept wine, meat, and other things on his door. And he called everybody and said, look, Srivas is drinking wine. Srivas is eating meat. He is worshipper of Kali. You know what Srivas did? Srivas came out and said, yes, he's telling right. So long, whole village was thinking I am such a great Vaishnava, but today he has revealed my true face. So today you all know now I am not a Vaishnava, I am such a fallen person. Now you should not respect me anymore. This is Vaishnava. You know, you do whatever you want, but leave me for practicing my Krishna consciousness. So even within devotees, if something like that happens, why to waste our time and energy in confronting? It doesn't make sense. You know. Yes, Mataji, you want to say something more? Radha Kripa Kataksh Mataji?
Yes, I'm satisfied with my answer, but I would like to know what if it involves them offending other devotees, or in other cases, pure devotees.
Yeah. So
Should
if they are offending other devotees, we have to do two things. One is we should not have their company. And second is, if we want to really help them, we can tell to some senior Vaishnavas who can correct them. You know, they can correct them if we really want to help them. And if you have no influence over them, nobody can help them, just avoid their company, because ultimately it's between the soul and Krishna. You know, they have to deal with it. If they are offending senior Vaishnavas, what can be done? We can suggest them, don't do that. We can help them through senior devotees to guide them. But still, if they want to continue, better avoid their association. You remember the qualities of Madhyam Adhikari? Madhyam Adhikari has 4 qualities: love for Krishna, friendship with devotees, avoid envious. Now, this is sign of enviousness. Even though he's wearing dhoti kurta, putting tilak, but he's offending Vaishnavas means he's envious. So, Madhyam Adhikari avoids envious. and is compassionate to the ignorant. That's what we should do.
Yes, Prabhu, thank you. And if
Yeah.
we're in a service that has connection with them, or if they are in a position, like in a temple position, but
Yeah.
they're still envious, how do we deal with that? The
You can
Vaishnava
put
way.
your headphone, hear some nice lecture, and do your service, so that their blasphemy doesn't go in your ears. You know, I mean, we have to avoid listening to blasphemy, because listening blasphemy is also the part of blasphemy. So if you have to do service with them, what can be done? You have to avoid at least listening to them. Okay.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. So we were discussing that how avidya is the root cause of all these sinful reactions, all material desires. So if this avidya is burned by Krishna consciousness, then automatically there are no material desires, there are no sinful activities, and there are no sinful reactions, either manifest or non-manifest. So this avidya, this snake, this avidya, ignorance, is compared to these snakes, the snakes of ignorance. Rupa Goswami is comparing them to snakes. Now what happens? When there is forest fire, other animals can run, but snake can only crawl. Snake cannot jump. Now, when there is forest fire, there is fire in trees, there are fires on grass, the things fall on ground which are burning. So these snakes cannot escape because they cannot jump over fire. Therefore, in forest fire, there is hope for any animal to be saved except snakes. So what Rupa Goswami is saying, this Krishna consciousness like blazing fire is so strong that it can burn all snakes of ignorance immediately. And if ignorance is burned, if ignorance is eradicated from heart, then automatically there will be no more miseries. Sachidananda Prabhu, please read this quote.
Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Klesh Agni. Material contamination is very subtle. Its beginning, its fruition and results, and how one suffers such results in the form of distress are part of a great chain. When one catches some disease, it is often very difficult to ascertain the cause of the disease. The practical injection to stop all the fructifications of the seeds of our sinful activities is simply engagement in Krishna consciousness.
Prabhupada giving such a practical example that when you catch a disease, you don't go for running that, oh, how I got this disease. Like suppose you got malaria, you don't go on finding which mosquito bite me and why this, malaria has come, which date, which time this mosquito has come to my home. You don't go and run for that. You just take medicine to cure the malaria. In the same way, when we got this avidya, how we got the trap of this sinful reaction, these are not important. Important is curing the disease. And Krishna consciousness can do that. It can just finish off everything in one moment. Chetan Prabhu, can you read?
Yes, Prabhuji, Hare Krishna. This sinful desire seed can be removed only by achieving Krishna consciousness. And this can be accomplished very easily by chanting the Maha Mantra or Hare Krishna mantra as recommended by Sri Krishna, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. In other words, unless one adopts the path of devotional service, he cannot be 100% clean from all the reactions of sinful activities.
So we have to adopt this process of Krishna consciousness. And although it is giving us the highest benefit, it's not difficult. It is simply chanting Krishna's name under the direction of spiritual masters. That is Kleshagni, the first one. Second is Shubhada. Shubhada means pure devotional service gives all auspiciousness. In Sri Siksha Ashtakam, first verse, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Cheto Darpana Marjanam Bhava Mahadavagni Nirvapanam Shreya Kairava Chandrika Vitaranam. See, Krishna consciousness extinguishes fire of material existence, that is sure. But after fire is extinguished, have you seen the place, how it looks? It looks all black, all ashes, half burned, full burned things. It's not that Krishna consciousness leaves sight like that. No. Shreya Kairava Chandrika Vitaranam means just like moonlight comes on some objects, how beautiful it looks. So Krishna consciousness not only cleanse devotee's heart by from all material desires, all material sinful reactions, but it also gives auspiciousness in his life. Then whatever comes in his life is a blessing of Krishna. That is Shubhada. Shrutidhar Prabhu, please read.
Yes, Hare Krishna Prabhu. Subhada. Srila Rupa Goswami has given a definition of auspiciousness. He says that actual auspiciousness means welfare activities for all the people of the world. The Krishna consciousness movement is so nice that it can render the highest benefit to the entire human race. Everyone can be attracted by this movement and everyone can feel the result.
So this is the highest auspicious activity which we can share with the whole world, where person will be free from all sinful reactions, no more miseries in his life, and he will have all auspiciousness in his existence. Braja Sevaki Mataji, please read.
Therefore, Rupa Goswami and other learned scholars agree that a broad propaganda program for the Krishna consciousness movement of devotional service all over the world is the highest humanitarian welfare activity.
So this is the highest humanitarian activity. If you really want to help the world, then we have to become preachers of Krishna consciousness. Third quality is moksha laguta kriti. As I was discussing, those who are in pure devotional service, they deride even the conception of mukti, liberation. Now this mukti is of 5 types. You can note that. Those devotees who remembers, no problem. There's 5 types of mukti, liberation. 4 are positive mukti and 1 is negative mukti. So the first one is Sayujya Mukti. Sayujya Mukti. Sayujya Mukti means merging into the Brahma Jyoti. There is no practical service involved. Therefore, this particular mukti is considered to be negative mukti. Our acharyas have told it as suicide, Kaivalya Narakayati, like a hell. Then, better than that is Salokya Mukti. Salokya Mukti means being on the same planet like Krishna. Salokya. Third is Sarupya. Rupa means form, getting form like Krishna. Sarupya Mukti. Fourth is Samipya. Samipya means getting close, association of Krishna. Samipya. And fifth is Sarishti, getting same opulence like Krishna. So these, out of these 5, 1 is negative, 4 are positive, because in other 4 there is service to Krishna. But devotees don't desire for any of them if there is no service involved. We don't want to be planet, we don't want to be in Vaikuntha with Krishna if there is no service. So therefore this devotional service, it even surpasses liberation. That is the glory of devotional service. Devotees are so satisfied and happy in serving Krishna that they don't even want to become liberated, as we were discussing little while ago. Yes, Usha Mataji, can you read?
Yes, Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Moksha Lagukrit derives the concept of liberation. It is stated in Narad Pancharatra that as the personal attendants and maidservants of a queen follows the queen with all respect and obeisances. Similarly, the joys of religiousness, economic development, sense gratification, and liberation follows the devotional service of the Lord.
Just like when the queen walks, all the maid servants and attendants follow the queen. In the same way, when bhakti comes in life, automatically all religiousness, economic development, sense gratification, liberation, everything will be on the knees to serve the devotee. We have studied this in Bhagavad Gita also. The Krishna told, my devotees, they get results of all Veda, Karma, Tapa, Jnana, everything. They don't worry about it. Last verse of 8th chapter. So same thing is written in Narad Pancharatra, that devotee, in front of devotee, all these results are just there to serve the devotee. Okay, who will read? Amal Arjun Prabhu, can you read?
Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Lord Chaitanya once revealed himself to this confidential devotee, Kulevecha Sridhara, and offered him any opulence he liked. But Sridhara informed the Lord that he did not want any material opulence. That is the position of pure devotees. Nectar of Devotion, page 13.
So Sridhar Kolavecha was a very poor devotee of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, materially poor. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu offered him that Kolavecha Sridhar, you ask what you want. I'll give you whatever you need. And he says, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, I don't want anything. I have everything. I have your devotional service. I don't want anything else. And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, you are so rich in your devotional service. Today I declare that even if Lakshmi begs on the street, there will not be shortage in your home. It is possible that Lakshmi may beg in the street, Lakshmi may become poor, but you will never become poor. That is devotees. The devotees don't want anything except service of Krishna. And therefore, this devotional service is sudurlabha, is very, very rare. Generally, it's not received so easily. It's very rare. Krishna gives mukti, bhukti very easily. But Krishna doesn't give bhakti that easily. Anisha Mataji, can you read? Okay. Bharat Krishna Prabhu, you can read. Please unmute.
Sudurlabha, rarely achieved, cannot be achieved by one's own efforts. In the preliminary phase of spiritual life, there are different kinds of austerities, penances, and similar processes for attaining self-realization. But all such endeavors can hardly offer anyone devotional service to the Lord, not even if one tries for it by such processes for many, many thousands of births. Nectar Devotion.
Actually, Krishna consciousness is not achieved. It is received. Difference between achieving and receiving. So our whole practice of sadhana, our austerity penances is just to attract mercy. But we can't claim mercy. That Lord, you have to give me bhakti. No. Krishna himself rewards it to the sincere practitioner. That is his choice. Because the problem is, once he gives bhakti to someone, Krishna becomes purchased by that devotee. Bhakti is so powerful. It can purchase Krishna. So Krishna is very cautious whom to give, whom not to give. And then another problem is Krishna can be blamed for being partial. That Krishna, you gave bhakti to some and you didn't give bhakti to others. That means you are partial. So what Krishna did, Krishna is very clever. What Krishna did, Krishna doesn't give bhakti to anyone. Close. He doesn't give. Then who gives bhakti? Krishna gave this responsibility to his pure devotees. So if we are fortunate enough to get mercy of pure devotee, then we can get bhakti. Otherwise, it's impossible to achieve bhakti on our own. So that is the another reason why we focus so much on pleasing spiritual master, pleasing pure devotees, because they can award bhakti. Next is Sandarananda Visheshatma. That means pure devotional service automatically puts one in transcendental pleasure. One gets situated in transcendental pleasure. That time, he doesn't have any consideration of material miseries. He is completely into bliss. Externally, you may say that he is suffering, he has this disease, this and that. Doesn't matter. Internally, devotee is so happy, he is so blissful. That is the speciality of devotional service. Venudhari Prabhu, please read.
Yes, Prabhuji. Srila Rupa Goswami says that if Brahmananda, or the happiness of becoming one with the Supreme, is multiplied by 1 trillion fold, it still cannot compare to an atomic fraction of the happiness derived from the ocean of devotional service.
See, there is different levels of Ananda. The lowest is Jadananda. Jadananda means material pleasure, which is momentary. Jadananda, material pleasure. Above that is Brahmananda. Brahmananda means pleasure in liberation, in Brahma Jyoti. And here Rupa Goswami is saying if you multiply it by a trillion fold, still you cannot compare it with the Ananda you get in serving Krishna. That is Seva Ananda. Highest is Seva Ananda. The Ananda of service. That is the highest one. So that is the speciality of devotional service. The devotee gets so much Ananda in serving Krishna, then no other Ananda, no more happiness of this world attracts that devotee. And the last quality is Krishna Akarshini. Devotional service is so powerful that it attracts Krishna. Nothing can attract Krishna because Krishna is all attractive. Krishna attracts everyone. But bhakti is more powerful in a sense of attraction. It attracts the all attractive. That is the speciality of bhakti. Yes, Saurabh Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Prabhu, like in Bhagavad Gita, it is written that it is said by Krishna that one becomes joyful when it attains Brahman, when it realizes Brahman.
Yes,
now, the devotional service is 10 times, multiple times than the joyfulness you get when you realize the Brahman. That's what.
Yes, yes. So Brahma, that verse is, if you get Brahma na sochati na kankshati. There's no lamentation, there's nothing more to achieve. Prasannatma. You'll always be happy. But this happiness is trillion times more if you multiply, then also you cannot match the happiness of serving Krishna. So that is even beyond that, even beyond being liberated. So that which Krishna is telling is in respect to material world. And from material world, this is higher. But then there's something higher than this. That is serving Krishna. Okay?
Okay. Prabhu, one more question. Like when we say that, our only desire is to serve Krishna, right? Now, whatever body we get over the different lifetimes, it is the effect of our own karmas, right?
Yes.
Right now, so when we say if whatever Krishna wants to do, we will do that. But actually, what we are getting into body or different type of situation is due to our karma. So how can we relate that? Okay, this is done by Krishna. It put me in this, and now I have to serve him. Is that the mood we should have?
No, no. Devotee thinks the situation where I am is because of my karma. But now, whatever I have to use it in Krishna's service. Prabhupada would call it as best use of bad bargain. Best use of bad bargain. Now we have got this body. We are into this situation due to our karma. Now no more future mistakes. Now I will just serve Krishna. With whatever I have, I will serve Krishna. That is devotee's mode. Okay?
Okay, Prabhu. Prabhu, just the extension of what you said, I
Yes.
firmly believe in this that, even when we are taking even one, breathe, that is due to Krishna. If Krishna has not given enough power,
Of course. Of
right,
course.
when has not given enough power, then we will not take even breath. All the
Yes.
thought, even a iota of the thoughts of loving him also comes from him, right? So when our body, the power inside the body, everything is because of him. It's because of him and it's coming from him. It's not because of him, it's coming from him. Then even if the devotional services, we cannot, even if we try, it will only happen if he gives the permission to.
And he will only give if we will desire. See, it's all about, yesterday also I think we were discussing this. Living entity has to desire. At least he has to desire. And then Krishna will help him. If he desires to do sense gratification, Krishna will help him there. And if he desires to get Krishna, Krishna will help him like that. So yes, everything is happening by Krishna's sanction, by Krishna's energy, by Krishna's, power. But then living entity has to desire. Krishna has given that free will to living entity. It's not that also Krishna will install. That, okay, I want Venudhari Prabhu to do bhakti, so let me install desire of bhakti. No. He has to desire. And then Krishna will help him to progress. That is the way it works.
But Prabhu, if because what I means in my mind is like many people come and go near the temple. There are people who have never gone to temple, but their desire comes to serve Krishna many times. There are people who are going to a temple, but their desire to serve Krishna doesn't come.
Yeah,
Right.
because there is choice, Prabhu. There is always choice, Maya or Krishna, and they are constantly choosing Maya. So Krishna is allowing them to be in Maya. Even though they will come to temple, but they are choosing Maya. There is always choice to living entity. Paramatma is speaking from inside to everybody. Krishna or Maya, Krishna or Maya. If you keep on choosing Maya, Krishna will help you there. But even if once you choose Krishna, then Krishna arranges more opportunities to fulfill that desire. So that is Krishna consciousness. Every living entity is given opportunity. Everyone. But the problem is, we keep on choosing Maya, so Krishna help us there. If we choose Krishna, then Krishna will give us that opportunity. Now it may be by going to temple, it may happen by reading a book, it may happen by seeing a video, or it may happen just by inspiration of Paramatma from inside. So everyone will be given this opportunity, but they have to choose Krishna over Maya. Okay? This desire free will is living entities, freedom. And Krishna allows them to choose. Otherwise, there is no point of free will. If everything Krishna will decide, then there is no point of free will. Okay?
Okay, bro.
Yeah. Sachidanand Prabhu, please read. this quote about Krishna Akarshini, how Bhakti attracts Krishna?
Yes, Prabhuji. To perform devotional service means to follow in the footsteps of Radharani, and devotees in Vrindavan put themselves under the care of Radharani in order to achieve perfection in their devotional service. Being
Yes.
directly under the control of the internal potency of Krishna, devotional service attracts even Krishna himself.
So Srimati Radharani is the abode of pure devotional service, and she attracts Krishna. The devotees of Vrindavan, they follow Srimati Radharani's footsteps, and that's how Krishna is attracted towards the devotional service of the devotees. So these are the 6 main characteristics of pure devotional service. Please read them nicely. They are in the first chapter, and they are achieved or they are received by devotees who practice sadhan bhakti, going to bhav bhakti and prem bhakti. All 6 types of devotional, all 6 types of characteristics are available. Yes, Vishnupriya Mataji.
Yes, Prabhu. Actually, when you were talking about the moksha, you had some inputs, and I was unable to jot it down. You just said name it. We didn't have any slide for that. I think
The five types
mentioned
of
it. I was
5
unable
types of
to jot
liberation.
all of them. Is that possible to have anything about that?
Hare Krishna.
Yes,
You're
the
talking
positive
about
and negative.
5 types of liberation you're talking about?
Yes.
Okay, I
You
will
just
send on the group. Okay?
okay. Thank
I'll
you.
send on the WhatsApp group. Yeah. So now we come to the eligibility of practicing bhakti. What is eligibility of practicing devotional service? Chetan Prabhu, can you read?
He says that devotional service is a continual process from one's previous life. No one can take to devotional service unless he has had some previous connection with it. But even if there is no continuity, if only by chance a person takes interest in a pure devotee's instruction, he can be accepted and can advance in devotional service.
So this is the secret. Yes, devotional service, we are continuing from previous life. As we discussed, if we practice 20% now, we'll practice 21% in next life. We start from 21%. But the thing is how it starts. If there is no background of devotional service, if we take interest in the instruction of a pure devotee, that's how bhakti starts. Because as I was discussing, Krishna doesn't take charge of whom to give bhakti, whom not to give bhakti. Krishna doesn't take that charge. Krishna has given that charge to his pure devotees. So if we listen to their instructions, we can receive devotional service. And that is the definition of sadhana bhakti. Sadhana bhakti means one which is executed by senses, and the purpose is to achieve love for Krishna. That is sadhana bhakti. We practice this through our senses. We do practical activity under the direction of the spiritual master. The spiritual master tells, wake up, attend Mangala Arati, chant 16 rounds. Many people argue, why to wake up so early? Simple answer, because our Guru told. Why to chant only 16 rounds? Why not 15 rounds? Because our Guru told 16 rounds. If we follow this definition of sadhana bhakti, engaging our mind and senses in Krishna's service, then eventually this sadhana bhakti will get more and more purified. And not only just external senses, but mind also, eventually. That we plan for Krishna, we engage in intellectual services for Krishna. And it's not that this will happen overnight. It takes years of practice, accepting the instruction of spiritual master, practicing it day and night. And that's how that dormant love for Krishna is awakened. You remember yesterday we discussed this. It's not that the love is not there in heart, but Shravanadi Shuddha Chitte Karayodaya. By practice of Krishna consciousness, the dormant love awakens. It's there in everyone's heart. Even in snake, even in lion, that love is there. But by practice of Krishna consciousness, by practice of sadhana bhakti, following the instructions of spiritual master, that love is awakened in the heart. Prabhupada is giving one example. Vansi Vilasani Mataji, please read this example.
Yes, Prabhu. For example, a child learns or practices to walk. This walking is not unnatural. The walking capacity is there originally in the child. And simply by a little practice, he walks very nicely. Thank you.
So child, when he takes birth, he doesn't walk. But that tendency to walk is there. So when he grows 2-3 years old, when you help him to learn walking, he picks up walking. So that is the thing. Krishna consciousness is not a foreign thing to accept. It's there in our heart. But just by little practice, that dormant love, the dormant Krishna consciousness awakens in our heart. Usha Mataji, please read.
Yes, Prabhuji. When we wish to develop our innate capacity for devotional service, there are certain processes which, by our accepting and executing them, will cause that dormant capacity to be invoked. Such practice is called sadhana bhakti.
So this process of awakening that dormant love for Krishna, this process, this set of rules and regulations set by spiritual master, this is called sadhana bhakti. Devadev Prabhu, Keshav Priya Mataji, please read.
Hare Krishna. These practices will help one become cured of madness. As a man's mental disease is cured by the directions of a psychiatrist, so is sadhana bhakti cured the conditioned soul of his madness under the spell of Maya, material illusion.
So when person becomes mad, he loses his identity. Suppose you met a person on the street. You ask him who you are. He said, I don't know. From where you are coming? I don't know. Where you are going? I don't know. What he will say? He's a mad person. In the same way, people who have lost their connection with Krishna, they are in spiritual madness. So this process of devotional service revives that connection. So they come out of that madness of Maya. Anupama Mataji, please read.
So the fact is that we have got devotion for Krishna. That is fact. But somehow or other, we are separated and we have forgotten. So as soon as by this regulative principle, by the order of spiritual master, by the injunctions of the Shastras, we begin devotional service. That just like our students do here. This devotional service is the pushing process. And as soon as the energy comes, then automatically clack, clack, clack. No more pushing automatically. This pushing process is required.
So little pushing is required in the beginning to reawaken that dormant love for Krishna. Because since so many lives, we are putting so many coverings of Maya over it. So to cleanse it, we need little hard work. And that process is following the instructions of spiritual master, that is sadhana bhakti. And this sadhana bhakti is of two types. We studied this in Nectar of Instruction 2. The sadhana bhakti is of two types. One is Vedi sadhana bhakti, one is Raganuga sadhana bhakti. Let's read the definitions. Who didn't read? Jagatambika Mataji, can you read both the definitions?
Yes, Hare Krishna Prabhu. two types of sadhan bhakti. Vaidhi sadhan bhakti. The first part is called service according to regulative principles. One has to follow these different regulative principles by the order of the spiritual master or on the strength of authoritative scriptures. Raganuga Sadhan Bhakti. Another part of Sadhan Bhakti is called Raganuga. Raganuga refers to the point at which, by following the regulative principles, one becomes a little more attached to Krishna and executes devotional service out of natural love.
So, sadhana bhakti, the technical definition of sadhana bhakti is to follow rules and regulations of Shravan, Kirtan, Smarana Bandhan, all these 9 processes under the direction of spiritual master. So when we do it out of duty to follow instructions of spiritual master, that is called Vedi Sadhana Bhakti. And when one develops a taste to naturally practice this process, then that becomes Raganuga Sadhana Bhakti. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to give this Raganuga Bhakti. He appeared to give this Raganuga Bhakti to everyone in this world. So when we practice these principles of Krishna consciousness under the direction of spiritual master, actually we are moving towards spontaneous love for Krishna. Devadev Prabhu, please read.
When there is no attachment or no spontaneous loving service to the Lord, and one is engaged in the service of the Lord simply out of obedience of the order to the order of the spiritual master or in pursuance of the scriptures, such obligatory service is called Vaidhi Bhakti.
So most of the devotees who start their practice of Krishna consciousness is at this level, Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti, where there is no taste, there is no spontaneous attachment to Lord, but we do as per the instruction of spiritual master and the scriptures, and simply our obedience to spiritual master further takes us in progressing Krishna consciousness. Now we are going to discuss the golden rule. This is the golden rule of all the scriptures. If you want to summarize all scriptures into one shloka, this is that shloka. Smartavya satatam Vishnu, vismritavyo na jatu chit. Kripalu Keshavi Mataji, please read. Please unmute and read.
Yeah. Smartavya satatam Vishnu, vismartavyo na jatu sit. Somehow or other, always think of Vishnu without forgetting him under any circumstances. Actually, this is the most basic of all regulative principles. Within this simple order and prohibition, all regulative principles are found complete.
So the purpose of all scriptures is that we remember Krishna all the time and we never forget him. And if we can do this, then our devotional service is successful. So it may look that, oh, Vaidhi Bhakti, there are rules and regulations. What is the use of following so many rules and regulations? No. If these rules and regulations are helping us to remember Krishna, then they are Bhakti. We are dressed in dhoti kurta. They are helping us to remember Krishna. This is Bhakti. We're putting tilak. This is helping us to remember Krishna. This is Bhakti. Going on Sankirtan, helping us to remember Krishna. This is Bhakti. If this injunction is followed, then all other rules and regulations will automatically fall into line. All other rules and regulations should be treated as assistants or servants to this one basic principle. So everything in the scriptures is given for only this purpose, that we remember Krishna and we never forget him. Sachi Maharani Mataji, please read this quote.
Thus, the Krishna consciousness movement is so nice. Let everyone be engaged in whatever occupation he now has. Simply let him worship Lord Krishna
by the result of his activities in Krishna consciousness. That will adjust the whole situation and everyone will be happy and peaceful within this world.
So this is the speciality of Krishna consciousness movement, that it helping us to remember Krishna all the time and never forgetting him. And if we can do that, then we can attain pure devotional service and go back to Krishna. Hare Krishna. So today we discussed mainly about the 6 characteristics of pure devotional service. It's a very important section of this book. So please remember this. I see Pratima Mataji coming now. So please take notes from Venudhari Prabhu and please revise it nicely. Read from the Nectar Devotion book also. And
Yes, Prabhuji, of course.
yeah. And we also discussed about the characteristics of sadhana bhakti and 2 types of sadhana bhakti, which is Vaidhi sadhana bhakti and Raganuga bhakti. Yes, Kripalu Keshavi Mataji, you have question?
Yes, Prabhu. Yesterday I was following the class, but after 7:20, I could not follow because the network was not working.
Yes.
So I missed a bit.
Okay, so we have recordings of class. I will send the
Okay,
recording. So you
okay.
can cover from there. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Prabhu. Thank you.
Namrasita Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dhanak Pranam. Prabhu, I also attended after 9 only. So, Prabhu,
Yeah.
I wanted to clear that in Nectar of Devotion, are we covering the whole book or how is it? I'm not able to
No,
understand.
only first 19 chapters are in the syllabus. Only first 19 chapters.
Okay.
Okay.
And those verses which we have to learn, they are not from NOD, no?
They are from NOD, but they are like Prabhupada wrote in English. But Prabhupada quoted this verse in many other lectures in Sanskrit. So we have taken from there, and only 4 verses you have to remember, I guess. They are from Nectar of Devotion, but you may not find in the book, but they are in Prabhupada lectures and conversation and other purports Prabhupada quoted many times. Okay.
So the OBA questions will be from first chapter to 19 chapters, right?
Yes, yes. Only first 19 chapters.
And how many chapters we have covered today, Prabhu?
We are still on first.
One. Yeah.
So it will take time, rather. I think 2-3 more sessions.
See, yeah, it will take at least 3 to 4 sessions. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Saurabh Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, I wanted to know one thing that suppose for us normally when we wake up we do our rounds and then we study and then we go to office and then if we have time we are not tired. Normally I'm talking about myself. Then we listen one lecture or we are into Bhakti Sastri. So, but how do we what is the parameter of judging us whether we are making a progress or not?
So that is not in our capacity to judge that we are progressing or not. Actually, our teacher, our guru can judge it. But simple way to understand to some extent is 2 things. One is how much distaste we are getting for material things. And second is how much attraction we are getting to Krishna consciousness. If our material attraction is reducing and Krishna consciousness attraction is increasing, that way we can understand to some extent we are progressing. Now suppose both are increasing, problem. Both are decreasing, problem. Material taste should decrease, Krishna consciousness should increase. That is little way to understand that we are progressing or not. But really we are progressing or not, our guru can tell. It's very difficult for us to judge. Okay.
Okay, bro. And second question is, like we meet in India, there are many people whom we will talk. we will tell कि आप भगवान का नाम लो, तो they will say हम तो सुबह शाम लेते ही हैं. And
Hmm.
that's the, because they say कि we chant, but they chant in their mind, right?
Hmm.
And so whenever we are trying to push those devotees or people around taking the God's name, they always say, they are taking. So how to tell that people that no, this is not the right approach.
See, they are lazy. That's the simple answer. Suppose you are telling a student that you study and you appear in the exam. He say, no, I study. Everything is in mind. Why I have to write? Why to write exam? Everything is in my mind. That means he doesn't know anything. Those who say that we chant whole day and night, they are 200% they're lying. Because mind is so uncontrolled. Can you imagine? Even while uttering from mouth, mind is not in one place. Mind is all over. And they are saying we are chanting whole day and night in mind. They are so powerful spiritualists.
No.
Actually, they are just fooling around. So we can try our best to convince them, but basic principle of preaching is don't try to create interest, but catch the interested. Let us see for those people who are really, they can be taught Krishna consciousness. They're open to it. So we should not waste our time in, all these kind of characters, because most of them, they are lazy. They don't want to practice Krishna consciousness. And it's another way they want to escape by saying that, oh, we are chanting all day and night in our mind. Actually, they are not doing anything. So we can try our best, but not waste our time on them. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, bro.
So tomorrow we are having exam, and there will be 2 slots as Sundar Nitai Prabhu posted. So please come prepared, and you appear in your respective slots whenever you are comfortable. But do come in either of the slots so that you have your Unit 4 exam in place. Monday we'll have our next class, and we take it from here. I'll request devotees to read from after the exam, of course, tomorrow. You will have Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 4 days. So you can read till chapter number 8. So 1 to 8. If you can read
wow.
this much, that will be nice.
Yes, yeah.
Okay. Chapter 1 to 8. Hare Krishna. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda ki jai.